So, I want to tell you why I decided to apply for a French visa. First of all, what this is not about. It's not because I fell in love. It's not because it makes any logical sense. And it's not because I'm running away from my responsibilities or my children. Reason number one, I felt called back. A few weeks into my summer in Paris last summer, I had a very profound moment where I felt like there was a part of home here for me, that there was a reason why I was there, and that I was meant to return. Now, this confused my mind because, and it didn't make logical sense, because I don't speak French. I didn't speak a word of French before I arrived. I do speak Spanish and Portuguese, and I thought, how hard can it be? Well, it was extremely challenging at first, and it still is. But even despite that, I still went ahead and got my ticket. I went to France. I arrived in Paris, not knowing any French, and I survived. And I had an incredible experience. And while I was there, I felt this feeling that this was part of my path. Reason number two, I fell in love with the growth opportunity that France provided for me. Not only the language, but getting out of my comfort zone in a country where I don't speak the language. Completely different culture, completely different climate. Being in the middle of a city, everything about it was incredibly powerful for me to get out of my comfort zone. And I just felt like I was in this classroom learning how to be me in the world where I don't know everything, and how to continue to move forward even when I didn't have the security and comfort of everything I'd always known. And so that call to growth, to expand myself, has been something that has been guiding me. And I really want to be clear that I didn't fall in love with a fantasy of Paris, of, oh, it's the city of love, the city of lights, all the things that Paris is known for. Personally, I actually surprisingly did not know that much about Paris. I haven't watched a ton of movies about Paris. I haven't read books about Paris. There was so much I didn't know. I actually felt almost like an alien coming to a new planet and everything's new. That's how I felt. It was a lot to just process and internalize and learn. So I wasn't romanticizing. It wasn't like a fantasy. It was literally just Paris was my next place. Reason number three, after I made the decision to come back to Paris, and I knew with certainty that this was my path and that I was meant to learn French, I met someone that became a very significant person in my life, and I felt a very deep connection with. Now, this happened after I made the decision. And so in my mind, whether things work out with this man or not, whatever it turns into, I was meant to come back to Paris. So I just continue to follow my plan, not putting pressure on this, and let it be what it's meant to be. Reason number four, I wanted to bring my children to Europe. This was one of the biggest reasons, actually. Ever since I studied abroad in Spain, in Madrid, and since then I have lived in different countries and traveled quite a bit, I fell in love with the magic of Europe. And I really wanted to bring that to my kids. I wanted them to experience what this whole world is like that they had no idea about. Wouldn't it be awesome if instead of living in the States and just bringing my kids to wherever I was living. I actually lived in Paris and brought them to Paris and Europe and had them experience the magic of what I was experiencing. And that's always been my dream. And my kids are actually at the ages now where they could appreciate it and have an amazing experience. I'm so excited about this. Oh my gosh. And so I just had in my mind, yeah, this would be amazing for my kids. And these are all the things I love to do. I love to travel. I love to bring my kids places. And I was full-time with my kids, just taking them on outings, going to the park, going to museums. I homeschooled for a while and we would just do a whole bunch of fun things. That's what I love to do with my kids. And so to have the opportunity now to be able to have those experiences with my kids, exploring the world, exposing them to new cultures and languages. Reason number 5 we're on is my calling to bring a group of women to gather in Paris in the spring, in May, after my kids come. Certain women are meant to experience the magic of the energy, the beauty, the inspiration. My gosh, I just feel so profoundly touched by Paris. Like, seriously, is an energy that has touched my heart and my soul. There's an energy there. Just remembering my friend said this when we were at this beautiful seminar in Paris, my first weekend there, and he came all the way from Bulgaria, and we just instantly connected. It was like we were like soul recognized each other, and we were having lunch afterwards or having dinner, and I interviewed him and I was like, why did you come to this seminar all the way from Bulgaria? And he was like, it's because I want to be in the energy of the people that are moving forward and expanding and letting go of what's not serving them and moving into a higher version of themselves. But that's what I want to do with this retreat, is to provide a space where we can be in the energy of who we are meant to be and give each other the support and provide this space when we take steps towards our next level and we invest the money, the resources, even the things we feel like we don't have yet, but we move from this place because we know, we have certainty that we're going to get there. That's when magic happens. That's when the doors open. That's when we're inspired, because the universe sees that we are in a place of taking steps. We are actually moving forward. And so the universe will give us exactly what we need. And so to be able to provide that for others is something that I personally feel called to do. Reason number 6 is to have the flexibility to stay in France for as long as I feel I need to be there next year. Just the way that the rules work, you can't stay longer than 3 months, and then you have to come back for 3 months, and then you can only go back after that time has passed. And so I wanted the flexibility to be able to stay as long as I felt like I wanted to stay. It felt like that was going to be important for me. And reason number 7, this is just how I live my life. This is actually consistent with how I relate to life and how I move through life. I'm a person who decides I want to live in a beautiful beach town that is a tourist destination and actually live there. And why can't I live there in the middle of COVID? And I decided to move there. I moved to Hilton Head with my kids because why not? Why can't I move to Paris? If I'm not going to be with my kids every day like I have been, why can't I live in Paris and bring them to visit me? And so I refuse to let limiting beliefs and other people's ideas of how things work really just cloud me and control me. I choose to follow the path that feels true and right for me, even when people don't understand or may judge it. And I take steps towards what people view as the impossible, what my past self might have viewed as the impossible. And I no longer believe that things are impossible. Because when something is meant for us, the universe opens the doors. So there's actually no limit of what's possible, what's impossible. All you have to do is connect with what you're meant to do, follow it, even despite the fear, and the universe opens the doors. So this is just totally in alignment with who I am, how I live my life, what my philosophy is, what my values are. At the end of my life, I want to always make my soul proud at the end of my life. I want to be proud of myself and to know that I took the steps that I needed to take. I did the things I needed to do. I took bold, brave actions. Not just for the sake of taking them, but for the sake of following my path. And that's my wish and hope for all of you, that you continue to trust yourself. Trust yourself. You have a path that's trying to emerge. Listen to it. The universe will open the way for you to live your path. And that's when life gets miraculous. Have a beautiful day, everyone.